Hello and welcome everybody, I am one proud Bavarian and this is Warhammer Geheimnisnacht. I have no experience whatsoever with the Warhammer universe, and because of that I decided, hey, what about we dive deep into a new scenario, into a new roleplay experience that I have no experience in whatsoever, because I think that makes it really fun to explore new things, to find new themes, to see it through fresh eyes. Whether you know the scenario, whether you know the world of Warhammer or not, doesn't matter, because I will be working my way through the lore that I can find. I've already read up a bit, I've googled some details, I've asked some nerds, lore beards and dorks, and they have all assisted me as well as they could to learn at least a little bit about the world of Warhammer Geheimnisnacht. I have generally learned that this world is essentially a crippled world of just the normal Earth. I'm also, and I want to point this out right away, using a mod that gets rid of the new world over here in the west, which is very clearly, you know, America. You had some lizards down here that were like the Aztecs, you had some elves down here, some dark elves with a Witcher King, and you had some normal elves here. This entire continent is apparently just empties itself out over time, so having it is really pointless. We're not going to interact with any of those, so we're just like, you know what, let's kick them out. We are going to keep the Under Empire, and I actually know what they are because I played Vermintide, so I know that these are the Skaven, but apparently they haven't invaded yet. They, you know, nobody knows who these Skavens actually are. Everybody just thinks, oh, stupid Reds, you're so silly. So let's assume they don't exist. Over here we have essentially Europe, Scandinavia, Albion, so England, and the Picts and the Irish, I guess. This appears to be Spain to me. This is Italy. They have a lot of republics there. Yeah, this looks like Italy, right? Maybe Spain, Italy united a bit. Then over here we have France with Britannia and some wood elves. Quite interesting. They got some wood elves, and I already heard about the lore. Apparently the wood elves are tightly connected to the magic users over here. They kidnap them and bring them over there, as well as to the Lady of the Lake, which appears to be the major religion in France. They also have some Northmen up here in France, you know, brewing up trouble, as well as, of course, orcs and vampires. The Red Duke of the host of Aquitaine. Other than that, we have the Empire, which is essentially the HRE, which has been in a state of competitive and repetitive civil war for the last, like, I think 500 years. And now Grand Count Vlad of Sylvania, I don't think that's right, of Sylvania, is of the House von Carstein, and he is invading the Empire in a bid to establish eternal vampiric supremacy. Now you might be wondering, who are we going to play? I had a little poll going, and originally I said, hey, whenever the Zoroastrian series finishes, we're going to play this one, but I thought that we would be playing HIP at the same time, but HIP isn't out yet, so I thought, you know what, let's just play Geheimnisnacht right away. And the poll said, hey, let's play in the Empire, so that is what we're going to do. We're going to try to reunite the Empire under a banner that I'm not entirely sure yet under which one, but I know already who we are going to play. We're going to play the Duke right here, Duke Karl of Salz, of the House von Salzon, which is essentially, I guess, the, you know, proper house that should rule the Duchy of Salz. But one way or another, we're going to play them because he's an interesting character. I also want to make sure Shattered Retreat on, right? Is there no... I'm going to turn off defensive pacts. I think that is good for me and the AI. I'm just looking, right? Is there locked movement already in this version of the game? Because this is not Holy Fury. This is pre-Holy Fury, and my question is just... is there any sort of locked movement in here? Because if not, that makes everything that much more tedious, but we will have to see, really. I can't spot it anywhere. There are some Warhammer unique settings. For example, we got the interracial conversion, so like you can't marry interracially and you can't convert people to other religions, which is apparently canon, so let's take that. Random mutations, let's keep that on. Ulthuan depopulation doesn't really matter. Battlefield duels on, of course. I've seen one of those event chains already, that looks nice. Lustrian growth, don't know what it means, and Mist of Albion default, whatever, dude. And with that, we're gonna just go in. Now, what are we going to do in this playthrough? I'm mostly going to take it fairly slowly, and I'm going to read up on the lore as we go in-game. If you have any knowledge about the lore that you want me to know about, please write it down below in the comments, because I want to experience this universe fully. I have asked several questions in the Discord. If you want to join the Discord, just check in the description. There will be a link there. And I've checked it out there, and there's a lot of stuff going on here. For example, what I love is just, you know, obviously you have all the cultures here that make up the Holy Roman Empire, including the Sylvanian. So all of these cultures apparently, like, they are close to something similar to German subcultures. So this is like Dutch, this is like Prussian Swedish is what I was told. This Sterland, I'll be honest with you, people say Sterland isn't Austria, but like with the name Wortbad, Wördern, Störhegel, Saya, Natten, this sounds like Austria, Slovenia. With the Aberländer, which as far as I'm concerned are Bavarian, Funzig, Nibelwald, Hocheleben, Bernloch, that's Bavaria. God bless Bavaria, fellow Bavarians. But we're not playing, oh, interesting actually. Could be playing over here, but we're not playing in Bavaria itself, we're playing in the north, under the Imperial Westerland, controlled by Empress Margrethe of the Imperial Westerland, and we are of the House Salzon. But what I was actually about to say is, so apparently the Empire is currently in civil war, and they're split in faith, but all those faiths are fairly close together, like they are one big institution, but the primary deity pretty much is different. Here we have Sigmar as the primary deity, then we have Tal, we have Ulrich. This is like Russia, I think. They are Ursinites. Look, there's so much lore here. All what I want you to know, which is why I'm playing this character, which, you know, it's quite interesting in my opinion to play this character because it has a lot of potential. Our dynasty, the dynasty von Salzon, in their family had Hewald. Hewald himself was the ruler of Nordland. Nordland, a kingdom currently held by our empress. This is the empress that we picked for our side, I suppose. That title better comes back to us, or I will have to rebel, you hear me? And then we also have our uncle Conrad II, emperor. And let me just quickly check this. He was the second to last emperor. So she is the legitimate empress according to this history here. I don't know why. I guess when the split happened, like, she lost it. But I'm telling you straight up, I'm coming back to take this title. The Principality of Nordland will be the center of the empire, and Salzenmund will be the center of our realm. That is at least my goal. I don't know how it's going to go. We might be thrown off at some point. I'm going to educate these guys like I would normally educate them. At any point, I also want to add that we might switch character if there is something else interesting going on also. A lot of quiet. We have like something that isn't as quiet. What about, you know what, give me the dwarves. Claustrophobic. Sure, give me the dwarves. I'm going to turn it up a bit. So we might switch characters if there is anything else interesting going on. That might be something to do here. For the moment, I'm, you know, so we're looking at essentially gaining back our vassals. We are the Duke of Kieselstadt and Duchy of Salz. So these two are de facto our proper, or de jure, our vassals, and hopefully will be our vassals soon in de facto as well. We also have a brother here, Prince Tietmar of Nordland. We are already married to Duchess Gloria of Salz from the House Trolle, the first important of her house, so also the last one, evidently, because she already has our kids. And we're going to become the King of Nordland. At least that is my ambition, and I shall make it a reality. Now, if necessary, I will lobby against our Empress, but let's hope that that will not be the case. I also notice now that we are in... Interesting. So we are in Gavelkind, obviously. Could we switch to Primogeniture here? One of these must be true. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, we don't have the right culture group for that. We're not a vice royalty. Full council authority or elective. Must not be true, right? Okay. I don't know. I kind of want to switch to elective monarchy. I'm okay with that. Hope that they don't elect different things. Then again, you know what? We're just gonna go with seniority. Do we actually go with seniority? I don't know. Who's gonna inherit the other one? The other kid, I guess. Sweyn von Salzon. Wolf Dietrich. So Wolf Dietrich, and that is Sweyn. Yeah, I see. I see how it is. Our young one will inherit it. We could have our brother inherit it. What isn't necessarily a bad plan, considering that he is fairly old. So maybe we get lucky and this kid gets it instead, but I don't know, man. I just don't know. The Principality of Nordland. Now, I wish we had that, let me tell ya. I think we're going to go with elective here right now. I'm going to vote for my kid, obviously. Then we're going to put somebody as a court priest in. And then we're going to just take a quick look around, because this episode essentially will be used for me to evaluate our position and our surroundings. So right now, we are under Empress Margrethe, the last rightful empress, apparently, according to the title history at least. And our overlord, she holds the Kingdom of Nordland, so she better hand that over. But she is in a civil war against Middenland, Reichland, Averland, or maybe Averland is just independent, you know. Bavaria doesn't want to take over Germany, they just want to be independent. And he holds Mother's Rune and Rune Sword. Interesting, interesting. So he has a sword, specific, very specific, for his kingdom. The Elector of Averland holds Mother's Ruin. What about you? The banner burns with a fire that can never be quenched, imbuing its bearers with flaming weapons and fiery eyes. That's pretty dope. Crowfeeder. This is one of the 12 rune fangs created by the legendary dwarven runesmith Alaric the Mad for Sigmar. This one is traditionally wielded by the Elector Count of Nordland. That's me. I need Crowfeeder. And you know it to be true. Let's have a look at our religion. We're Sigmarite. The cult of Sigmar is one of the newer additions to the pantheons of the old world, but is one of the most influential. After Emperor Sigmar's departure to the east, he was deified and became the patron and protector of the empire. The Sigmarite faith has an ancient alliance with the dwarves, and is on reasonably good terms with most other old world cults. The Grand Theogonist holds enormous power, and with the Arch-Lectors of Talabheim and Nuln holds 3 of the traditional imperial elector seats. Right, so the different cultural, I guess, religions are respected by giving them seats in the imperial election. I don't know how long that is actually going to be the case, seeing as he, good old Grand Count Vlad of Sylvania, is already trying to subjugate all of this. And he probably won't stop there. Oh, look at Ostland. Oh, is Ostland? Yeah, Ostland, I think, is the actual, like, Prussia, right? I would argue so, I guess. I don't know. All I'm saying is, we are in a good position to start out here. And I'm going to go ahead and start the game, but I'm also going to give out the court physician position, as well as auto-assign commanders. Thank you very much. Now, if she now gave me all these vassals, that would be very nice. Transfer the vassalage. Alright. That's 2. That's 3. Rumors reach you that in Sylvania, a vampire lord by the name of Vlad von Carstein has summoned a massive army of undead. What the fuck? And aims to make war on the fragmented empire. Damnation. So he's certainly going to take over. I mean, I don't see how he's not going to take over. And she keeps transferring vassalages to me, which is very nice. She's making me stronger. And I think now we have everything that is de jure ours. Imperial Westerlander, Imperial Reconquest. Ah, she's going for R now. So she's kicking out the Norsemen, which I'm a big fan of. So this is Scandinavia, it appears. And they have a religion, Norscan. The Norscan gods are as harsh and unforgiving as the land itself. In the superstitious beliefs of the Norscans, there are a vast multitude of gods and spirits that must be appeased to ward off disaster, leading to an endless array of rites, sacrifices, charms, and prayers. Many of these spirits are daemons, or the daemons. So I'm going to pronounce it the German way, because this is spelled the German way. Are demons, or the runers' power themselves, happily accepting the worship directed their way, though there are also plenty of benign subjects of worship. Some gods from the south are also worshipped, such as Ursula, Ulrich, and Tal, but others are derided as soft and weak. So essentially Germanic. You're not gonna become a Westerlander, you're a Nordlander, my friend. What I know about the world is that apparently, at some point, there were some aliens that came down on this planet. And yes, I know it sounds ridiculous, I thought the same, but they opened portals in the north and they opened portals in the south to fast travel. And those portals use a dimension to fast travel that is essentially human emotion everywhere. And that means that chaos started to seep out of these portals, which then made the aliens go, you know what, we're out of here. And that chaos is causing mutations. For example, let's take a look if we can find a mutated man. None of these appears to be mutated. You're a beast lord. I don't know, none of these appear to be mutated, but it causes mutations up here. And mutations, mostly coming from the north, are signs of chaos and the chaos gods. Now, there are some, I was informed, that are fairly immune to mutations and the chaos, and those are, for example, the halflings here, the moodlenders. Esmeraldan. Halfling religion is mostly centered around Esmeralda, goddess of the hearth and home, and her children. Esmeralda is said to have given the halflings the gift of cooking, and as such, most of their rituals and prayers are centered around what halflings love most: food. There aren't temples to talk about. Most worship of the halfling pantheon is done at their homes, and placing small clay effigies of Esmeralda in the kitchen, so that she watches over it, is enough for the believers to ensure that their food doesn't spoil. The cult of Esmeralda is mostly confined to the moot, but individual halflings all across the world worship her as well. So they are essentially, I think, the guardians of the moot. They just hang out here. I can't remember the backstory exactly why they're given this land as imperial vassals, but they do exist, and they are there. And the way I see it, wouldn't it be interesting if we became a chaos worshipper? Now, there are multiple societies that you could theoretically join to become chaos worshipper, but we right now only have one option. We only have the Children of Doom. There is also the Purple Hand, the Crimson Skull, the Sybarites, and the Lost and the Damned, all with different focuses. For example, I read all of these off camera, and the Sybarites are more like, hey, we like hedonism. We like to have sexual intercourse with each other. That is, you know, our existence. And what the Children of Doom do, let's read through this here. The Children of Doom are a secret society of cultists that proclaim that the only salvation left remains in Nurgle, casting him as a figure that alleviates suffering rather than being the cause of it. By embracing Nurgle, these cultists believe that they will be spared the worst diseases and will survive to a new era of comfort and joy. Now let's take a look at that. I think Nurgle is also like the god of decay or something. Look, I'm doing my best, okay? But we're going to try to make a pact with chaos and get the better end of it. Now, will we actually get the better end of it? I don't know, man. But we have vampires coming from the south. And so this is just me kind of parroting what I have heard about the lore. So apparently down here in ancient, like, Egypt, which is somewhere like around, yeah, this looks very Egyptian, doesn't it? In like ancient Egypt, somebody went around and invented necromancy, and they were like, hey, I hate that. So they tried to expel the vampires. I think the first vampire lives somewhere over here. Give me one moment. Nope, that's not a vampire. None of these are vampires, in fact. Let me check this, okay? Just one moment. I'm like 99% sure I can... There you go. Queen Nefertari of Zarazri. By nature, vampires tend to turn their backs to any and all gods, since anything or any place consecrated to a deity, even to the dreaded dark gods of chaos, can hurt them considerably. Instead, each bloodline greatly respects their ancient founders, bordering outright on worship sometimes. Nefertari, which is this woman, Wizoran, Abhorash, Vashanish, Ushoran, Harakte, and Madmesis are all venerated and feared by their respective bloodlines. In the end, though, the only god a vampire truly believes in is in itself. So what happens is, the Egyptians were like, hey, don't become vampires. Then the vampires went north, they fled the lands, and cursed the Egyptians. And the Egyptians are now eternally ridden by being undead. They are tomb kings. The tomb kings of Nefertari are all that remain of the glories of an ancient, proud civilization. Once believing they would wake up from embalmed death and live in a paradise where they would rule eternally, they instead woke up to a horrible undeath and a cursed existence. Seeing their land come to ruin, many have gone mad, while others are still driven by the ancient impulses to rule and expand their once great empire. Their courts are a mockery of life, with food being served that cannot be tasted, wine being poured that cannot be drunk, but the great wealth and splendor remains, even if it is a decaying and hollow echo of what once was in the mighty land of Nefertari. So, now that we spent 20 minutes with me understanding what is going on, we're gonna try to join a chaos cult, have a good time. What are you saying? Advisor. No, thank you very much. Witch hunters. Witch hunters are a necessary evil. Though their methods can be cruel, they are often the first and last line of defense against the spread of chaos. As there are no witch hunters in your realm, do you want to invite some? Absolutely not. I don't need witch hunters, okay? Don't ask any questions about this. Look, here's what I really want to do. Here we go. Here we go. Nice song, buddy. Nice fucking song game. I want to become the king of Nordland. And if I can, I will invite people into this. I will make it clear to everybody involved that I will be the lord that they shall serve in Nordland. Be it now or be it in the nearby future. Could I declare war on him? Oh, we don't have a CP. I mean, you know, technically, kind of. They're all voting for themselves. Amazing. I hate it. Thanks. Let's take a look. Revoke title allowed. We could allow it. Is it really... What's the point? Oh, I think we have to announce... Yeah, look at this. They're all angry. They're like, hey, I should be on this council. They're all terrible, too. I guess that's just par for the course, isn't it? I'm gonna put all of you on the council, make you a bit happier. I'm also gonna... I mean, we gotta start fabricating claims at some point, right? I'm gonna start fabricating a claim right there. I'm gonna train some troops in my own positions, collect taxes, you know, all the good stuff. I'm gonna research some cultural tech, even if it is unnecessary, but we're still gonna do it. And then we're gonna take a look. Train a Pegasus mount. Has personal wealth of at least 500. Interesting. And Arnau is indeed losing. Yeah, they are very much being absolutely slaughtered. 4 Hexen just means before the wizardry, before the witchcraft. How's the war of Vlad going? Jesus, he's hemorrhaging troops at the same time. He's down from like 46 to this, but he's still extraordinarily strong, and he's winning. And he's gonna take all of those titles, damn. Chancellor Erich of Ostermark. Talite, let's read this. The cult of Tal and Rhea is amongst the most ancient religions in the old world. Tal is considered the king of gods, and as such he governs all nature. He's married to Rhea, the compassionate goddess of the land, love and fertility. They are usually worshipped in a couple, but woodsmen and foresters' worship tend to favor Tal, whereas farmers, fishermen and lovers favor Rhea. The cult of Tal and Rhea is so popular across all the old world, but especially so in Talabegland, with Talabheim being a sacred city to them. The priesthood of Tal and Rhea is not as influential in imperial politics as Sigmar's or Ulrich's. Its leadership rotates between 2 hierarchs, one for spring and autumn and others for summer and winter. That's pretty cool, actually. We are like, our religion I think is like vanilla Catholicism. Who the fuck are you? Oh, would you look at this? Interesting. So these hierarchs actually do hold this stuff. Oh, that's fascinating. Oh, look at you. You're the one to introduce me, huh? I'll keep it hidden. Elisa, I'll keep it hidden from Wuppertal. That's... You know, this is just like a German city, right? Wuppertal? Makes me think. I can't believe you're not using Mother's Rune, but instead just Rune Sword. You truly are a heretic? Oh, this sounds like heresy to me. I think that's a meme, right? I also know another meme, like they constantly say that in the developer diaries. They're like, oh, but the Skaven don't actually exist. I get it. I think like they're like mimicking the upper world people that are like, the Skaven are dumb idiots. They're not a society, lol. But they are actually, and they are evil. Also, Bretonia is obviously France. And these are like the Normans, except they're not actually vassals and they're gonna be dominated. Ooh, look at you. Oh, look at you. And I can't even do it because I don't have the piety. Let's await some further instructions here. I wish I could kill this man. Really do. Sitting at 19%, that's nice. 20. The bargain must be struck. The mark of Nurgle. Ooh, what does it mean? What does it bring us? Ulrichzeit. Man, you don't even want to know how many mispronunciations I've heard of German words. Join the worship of Nurgle. Await the messenger. I will await the messenger indeed. Demand installation of Clement. Nope, not gonna do that. I'm not crazy. Oh, look at Sylvania. Oh, Sylvania. So he even has magic power. We don't have any magic. You are the messenger. Russell de Montbray from... They worship the Grail down here? Why is he down here? We have some Sigmarites. We have proper vampires, but they're Strigoi vampires. Founded by Ushoran, Lord of Masks, and cousin to Queen Nefertari of Lamia. If they're cousins, that should mean that I can theoretically find him here, right? So cousin, let me see. Parent. No, this doesn't make any sense. There's no cousin here. Oh, and this was the one... Oh, and look at this dude. He's not one of the vampires, so he kind of got betrayed. But they're not cousins. Shoran is literally not a cousin. He's her brother. Where's he? Oh, he's down there. Interesting. You've met an intriguing... Right, a beautiful man. Hello, beautiful man. That is old. We'll soon see exactly how committed you are. Alright, let's see what we have to do. Let's join. I'll do whatever it takes. Drink from Papa Nurgle's sweet gifts. Oh man, that sounds weird. With a foul ritual finished, Russell congratulates me. Welcome to the Children of Doom, Prince Carl, he says. You're now in Papa Nurgle's loving embrace. We have become a Nurglite. Wow, that's oh, we've gotten sick. Diarrhea from the drink. Nurglites, damn. I mean, the mask doesn't give away who we are, does it? Not suspicious at all. Nurgle is the chaos god of disease, pestilence, decay, and plague. Revolting in an aspect, Nurgle is a darkly humorous god, taking a sick joy in inflicting his many afflictions upon the mortal world. His followers come to him initially to seek extended life or the power to resist sickness, but are soon corrupted in mind as well as body by his influence, taking the same perverse joy in spreading disease as their god does. Nurgle's mirroring decay and hopelessness makes them opposed to Tzeentch, one of the other chaos gods, I assume. Interesting. So now we are a secret society member as well. Strength in decay. What is strength in decay? Followers of Nurgle revel in disease. While they cannot be cured of any serious disease they contract, eventually the Lord of Decay will bless them with unholy vigor that greatly balances the disease's negative effect. Really? Cultist. Summon familiar Nurgle's touch. Demonic possession. Invite disciple, cultist infiltration, and cultist uprising. Oh, that's pretty cool. Alright, so essentially we could properly go to an uprising here. And he's trying to treat me. I don't think we can be treated properly anyway, because with the diarrhea, it's kind of intended, right, that we have it. Now I'm vomiting. Come on, Nurgle. Why are you doing this to me? If we die, we can just play as Wolf Dietrich, that's fine. We have a malaise. And I think, with all this heresy going on, we have the flu. With all this heresy going on, I shall end this episode here, and in the next one. Ooh. After enduring the aches and pains of your illness for what seems an eternity, Grandfather Nurgle has decided to reward you for perseverance. While you still feel the effects of your illness, they no longer hinder you. You even feel more alive than you ever did before. Now we have bedridden. Oh, it just both gets removed, but we keep the flu. Interesting, interesting. So, I'm gonna get rid of you. I mean, maybe I can recruit you, actually. Could I recruit you, theoretically? Ah, disappointing. Okay, didn't work out. Don't you worry about it, okay? Who's this, by the way? It's a king. It's an actual king. Principality of... Oh, it's this man. Interesting. Okay, fair enough. I will see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for tuning in, and later, alligator.